Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our stream. We're here for you to ask us anything about Savage Rifts. Obviously, we won't share personal details like social insurance numbers and other stuff like that, unless you're a Nigerian prince and have a lot of money for me. So we're glad that you're here this evening with us. My name's John. We've got Aaron, we've got PK and Patrick, and we're your Savage Rifts development team for now, anyway. So hopefully that stays the same as we talk through the end of the night. None of us say anything dumb. So we're excited to have you here. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
We don't know the order yet.
Oh yeah, I got to be a great radio host, right? So why don't we start with you, PK, since your mic's on?
Hey, I'm PK. We're all going to say the same thing. I'm one of the Savage Rifts developers. And
all right, sure. What's your favorite color?
Hey, sorry that cut out. Fuchsia, and sorry, it's the Savage Rifts Con, and Twitch got weird with the thing.
What, you mean Twitch like blocked out con, like it was a bad word?
It treated it like it was a link and was like, no, and censored it. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
That's weird.
There we go. With a little spacing to make it all work. Favorite taco flavor? Okay, Patrick, what's your favorite taco flavor?
Favorite taco flavor is any, because tacos are the best food. I'll
take that.
I am Patrick Young. I'm one of the developers. I have a specialty in everything gear and everything tech. So that's me.
All right. And last but mostly least, Aaron. There's no question for you. Do you have a favorite taco flavor? Or are you a burrito guy? Dogs or cats? That came up.
See, you had to ask him about tacos, Sean. You
left for the taco truck. He left for the taco truck.
You know how he feels about taco. My God. Also, you didn't introduce yourself.
My name's John, and I love tacos of all kinds. I can't get good ones because I live above the 49th parallel. Okay. So it's good to have everyone here. Without Aaron, he's our fearless leader. We might as well just dive right in. We've got some questions for you tonight from Savage Rifts. Some of you sent some questions in from the con. If you're joining us from savagerifts.com, we got some games happening this weekend and everything like that. But let me just pull up a couple of easy questions for us. Guys, without Aaron here, I think we can get away with a lot of stuff. What's the next book? Like, is this Rifts thing going to keep going or what?
Oh, there's none. We're quitting.
Right. We're done.
All right. Aaron, I asked them what the next book was.
Yeah, we said we're done. We're just quitting at this point. Aaron, you hear us now?
Seems like he's still frozen. So go ahead, PK.
The next book is going to be called Ends of the Earth, and it primarily focuses on Asia and Australia. So Rifts China, Rifts Japan by Aaron, Rifts Australia, along with quite a bit of quite a bit, but a fair amount of kind of material to flesh out the areas around those, some of the coasts and islands around those as well. So.
Yeah, a lot of it is going to focus on, you expect there to be, if you know anything about Rifts books in that area, you expect China, you expect Japan, you expect Australia. But we're doing quite a bit to try and make the connecting parts of it not just blank, because it's not blank. It's not commonly expanded upon, but it's not blank. It's that stuff exists. Korea, for instance, is really cool. But I say that because I wrote that.
It's good. I think that was one of the questions from the Discord or Facebook. Like, what regions does it cover? The person was like, they assume Japan and probably China. Does it include Australia? And Patrick, you talked about South Korea, some of the oceans, a lot of the connecting tissue of the region, right?
Right. Also, a little bit into India and that whole area, Indonesia, etc., South Pacific. It covers a lot of it, honestly, and it should.
Good. And Aaron's coming back. Before he gets mad at us, somebody else asked, is this going to be like one book, or is it going to be like Europa where it's like two? Peace, Aaron.
He's just saying it's going to be two. There's going to be a foes book and then a campaign/player book that's going to cover everything. We really like the how we ended up with Europa because we got a lot more in. So we were able to put the PPC and the adventures and with the bestiary in Savage Foes of Europa, and that worked really well. And it enabled us to pack a lot more into the world book, and that also worked really well.
Yeah, so you can expect something very similar with Ends of the Earth having all the like I said, world book and character stuff, and then Savage Foes of Distant Lands going to have the bestiary and all the adventures. So a nice.
Good. Someone said they can't wait to get their hands on their Europa books. Are they shipping soon?
Yes, shipping has begun. That was just recently posted to the Kickstarter. Official shipping has begun. We authors just kind of started getting our keys. Oh, actually, I should show it off. Hold on.
Yeah. Does anyone have one? Mine's not on my desk.
I don't have mine with me, but they are gorgeous.
Yeah, there you go. I love that gargoyle picture.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
And open it up, show the inside cover, because I'm a huge Temple Warrior fan. Or is that on Foes? Oh no, there it is. That's good.
The color in these really pops too. Like there's really just the printing and pictures, and I'm doing this backwards, so it's hard.
Yeah, that's great. And there's a box, right? Like for those who got it. Oh, there it is. Foes with ribbons.
Yeah, the box has this this on. I can show the box, the accessories and such. So
show the end papers on that one, because I think the Temporal Raider is the best bad guy in Rifts.
Probably the best artwork we commissioned. So we're like, we got to put that on a book.
Yeah, it was one of the best.
Or like some random cool. Here's another nice shot of the Temporal Raider. Yeah, there's other bad guys, but we love the Temporal Raider. Oh, here's the I don't know how to pronounce it. Koshei.
The Russian demons. Yeah.
The Russian demon. Check that out, yo. What's up?
So, as somebody's asking, what's a brief pitch on the Plot Point campaign? In which book? I assume in Europa or in Ends of the Earth? Well, there we go.
Yeah, I love that box set. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Lots of pawns. 2 maps with this one, right? Or 3?
Yep. Here, I'm going to mute and pull them out. Just explain the Plot Point campaign for Europa.
The Plot Point campaign for Europa it kind of is a Indiana Jones, Dan Brown kind of mystery kind of feel. You have to traipse around Europe, uncovering artifacts to stop an ancient evil before he wreaks more havoc on the European continent. And that's probably enough to say about that as a pitch. It takes you all over. You get to see lots of different regions and interact with all the major NPCs and world powers. I'm biased. My favorite is your trip to Scandinavia. What about you, Patrick? What's your favorite part of the platform campaign?
My favorite is probably the one in Rome where they're underneath the catacombs. I love that whole thing. Um, but again, it also echoes that Dan Brown feeling. So
I didn't like that one because my players one-shotted the kind of main monster.
yeah, well, that's your luck as a GM. So
Yeah.
you're either killing them or they're killing you. There is no in between.
That's right,
I
all
can
in,
say
right?
that as both his GM and as his player. Yeah, that's just the way John goes.
All the great pawns looking there too. Thanks, PK. Oh, you're a person after my own heart. You're a degenerate with dice, but also you want more box set campaigns. I think that's a good goal to have. Write in info@pagan.com and tell them you want more box.
Right.
We want to make them too. So convince your friends to buy Terror on the Dark Frontier, and yeah, definitely feel free to speak up about this. And it could absolutely happen. We're crossed,
Peg listens to you. Talk to them. When in Rome, I like it.
Okay, good. So that was the kind of the Europa stuff. Is there anything else about Europa you guys want to cover before we dive in? There was some stuff about VTT support for Europa that came in through the Facebook.
Yeah, they were asking about Roll20 VTT support.
Yeah, I can say for sure that Europa will be on Foundry. I can't say for sure about Roll20 at this time. I'm just not sure. But again, if you think there's a demand for that, let the team know, and they'll see what they can do.
One
look
thing
at
I
that big
liked
map with all the political boundaries. It's
I love it. Yeah, one thing I loved about getting into this, anyone who knows me, who's dealt with me at any time, knows that I'm a huge lore nerd. And I loved getting to dive into and seeing where all of the boundaries were. That was a big fun part of this for me. That and just kind of expanding on the parts that aren't talked about as much. Most of Poland was my baby, and that and the FSA, the Free Scandinavian Alliance, and they were a lot of fun to write for Europa.
Okay.
All right.
What about you, PK? Do you have a favorite part of the Europa book?
Europa, man. I'm actually so it was at the time there was definitely a give and take with Sean to get it figured out, but I really am super happy with how Gnome turned out. I feel like it's a really flat out new addition to the world. But also getting to answer a couple of the plots in in England was really nice. Especially getting to really lean into the kind of Thrones, messed up, dysfunctional family, political dynamic plot thing of Berwyn Moore.
So yeah, that's all shipping now. I saw U.S. shipping's underway, and the others I'm sure will follow shortly if they haven't already. It looks great. It's coming to you by a Studio 2, so hopefully you get your delivery announcement soon. We're not really at that end of the business, so if anything comes up, though, don't hesitate to contact customer service. Good. Aaron's, he's back and sort of back. I'm going to put him in and see what happens. Should we try him again? There he is, Aaron, sleeping. All right, we'll see if he can keep up with us now. Before we move back to Ends of the Earth, there was a question that came up about whether we would do an archetype dossier for Ulysses Chance, the techno wizard. There's art for him. He gets a quote, block quote in the book. But he had an archetype at the beginning, but he never got one when we did the revised version. So,
I mean, we would like to actually, and just to bring the techno wizard back into the archetype would be great. So that's absolutely on the table, depending on if we can justify it in what a next project is, because we definitely couldn't justify it at Ends of the Earth because Techno Wizard devices and Techno Wizards are much a part of the setting in this part of the earth. They're really more of a North America and to a degree Europe thing.
Yeah, one of the things that I had to reconcile, and actually one of my favorite new character types for the new book, was the fact that there is no techno wizardry, not really, in Japan. So we had to come up with a way to create that stuff. Enchanted stuff is easy. We already had those rules. So we had to come up with different ways, and I like what we came up with.
I mean, I
Um,
think it's fair to just say, if anyone was kind of hoping to see weird science get a little more love, you're going to be happy.
oh, very happy. Very happy. For those of us who played on SavageRisk.com, you'll remember Super Science. The same basic idea. It's the science that is nearly magic, but not. It's a trope of science fiction. It's a trope of riffs. It's a thing we should have.
Mhm.
Well, while we're talking about that, will there be various types of ninjas classes? Oh, no classes, but edges, packages.
Okay, I'll get mine out of the way real quick.
Right.
There is a Mystic Ninja, absolutely. In fact, those who played in my game on Friday, or who will be playing in my game on Sunday, one of the players has the opportunity to play one of these Mystic Ninja. They're an iconic edge of the new Martial Hero package, so it's one of the options for the Martial Hero. So that's kind of the mystical tradition ninja.
And for the tech ninjas, there's a lot of them, but it's mostly edges modifying existing packages, because that's really all you needed. Tech ninjas already existed. The Intel agent is a tech ninja. The city rat could be a tech ninja. The mercenary warrior, the techno warrior, could be a tech ninja, depending on how you work it. So a lot of what I ended up doing, because that was my focus, one of my focus areas, was just making them fit what they should be. And it was really easy to do. It was a lot of light touches that ended up being really effective.
Well, I don't know. PK, is there any spots left in your game?
I can check. It depends on what Pit Boss says. That said, last on Friday, I did have someone do a no-show. So, we don't have an official wait list, but we're going to have next time. Oh, wow. Actually, yeah. Hold on. Sunday at 6, there is one spot left. Feel free, sign up.
Sunday at 6 Eastern.
I suggest it.
Pre-gens.
And then pop over to the Discord when you get a chance. And I don't think anyone's called dibs on the ninja yet. So, pardon.
I like the pre-gens for that game because it's also got the Demon Wrangler, Demon Wrestler, and that was an exceptionally fun project that I saw PK and mostly PK working on, but it was other people. All of us chimed in. That's kind of how we work.
Yeah, it's a lot of revision from people, and yeah, not the way the Demon Queller turned out. There's 3 different options of Demon Quellers, and it's one of my favorite frames that's going to be in the book, no question about it.
There was another question that came from Facebook talking about what's in the book. Is there any song juicers?
I mean, who better to answer that than you, John?
Yeah, Josh, who would know that?
I'll answer. Yes, there's a song juicer. It's an iconic framework. It is, as you know, if you know the lore from Australia, it's not really a juicer. It's someone who juices up on magic and has juicer-like abilities as a result. But the trade-off is phenomenal cosmic power and itty bitty living time. And so therefore that song juicer follows it. But what's interesting, I think, about the design of that, you guys could comment on this, is your power level stays the same, but the type of power you have ebbs and flows. So if you remember the original, they aged really fast, and eventually, they lost all their good looks and strengths, but they grew in power magically. And so I tried to emulate that. So as you increase in rank, some of your edges swap out for other things, or some of your abilities swap out for other things. So it's like playing two characters almost, front half and back half. That's how I saw it anyway. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. I love that you start off as this super badass physical fighter, but by the end of your lifespan, just before you die, you're actually this insanely powerful arcanist. Like you're this almost creature of magic, which is very cool.
Yeah, the creature of magic thing was the part that I really liked about it. Is that you start out a man, you end up not, and I like that growth. I thought that was a really nice way of dealing with it. It's again one of the most tropiest things about Rifts. You're more than human, whether you were human or not to begin with.
Good. I posted a link to PK's pre-gens there if you wanted to get a peek at how some of the frameworks and characters look. Not final, of course. Totally, unofficial.
Subject to change.
Trademark, sign in blood. Lawyer.
Possibly even in the middle of the con if I catch a balance issue.
Right.
Oh man, will there be kangaroo mounts? Actually, that's kind of an Aaron question. Does anyone remember in that section if there are kangaroos you can ride? I think there's a kangaroo monster type thing.
There's a kangaroo monster. There's not a kangaroo mount, but it's within reason. I'm sure you could work something out. Kangaroos are kind of weird to ride, though.
I know, but they do in the cover, I think is the point.
I get it.
The original Australia cover.
I'm just saying, you could.
You don't need to answer that right now. You're busy.
I did, yeah. I forgot to silence my phone.
Okay.
All right. What's another question from chat?
I don't see any other questions that I had wrote down earlier. Any chat questions?
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Well, tell you what, I see. Well, Degenerate with asks, how did the new sci-fi companion help with the new books?
All right. Yeah.
Although unfortunately, the answer is it didn't. Savage Rifts second edition was finalized long before the sci companion was a thing. So if for a third edition, it'll more likely be in line with the sci-fi companion, but just a little too divergent for that to be a thing. Sorry.
Yeah, I think if you think in terms of scale on Savage Worlds products, you have kind of your base. Some of the companions add a little bit more on top of that, and Rifts is just like 3 half steps above that, and just in terms of some of the power curve and damage levels. And it was dialing them back in one book would have kind of thrown them off across all the line. I think that's the answer. That doesn't mean the sci-fi companion's useless. That has awesome extra edges and cool ancestry abilities that you can bring into your game. It's just you're going to have to eyeball them a little bit to make sure that they're ready to survive the world of Rifts. What other IFs or races or ancestries are we going to see in the Earth?
Do we want to spoil everything? Oh, actually, does anyone have the ability to share the thing that Aaron was going to share?
I can work on that if you want to give an overview of everything else.
Okay, because there was one. I guess we'll build up to it. There's one that got a lot of dogpiling that I think worked really, really well. Because Patrick came up with it with I helped out some. John advised it. Like we all kind of gave feedback on it and all that, which is the Dragonborg. That is one of the most interesting new iconic frames that I think you're going to see. They are incredibly powerful out of the gate, but sort of what sort of looking for? Like you choose a specific model, and that's kind of like what you have. You
Yeah,
can yeah, just
it's very much in the vein of you're a dragon, Borg, and you kind of expect it to be like a dragon, and it is. But it's also you're also an incredible soldier because they are first and foremost soldiers. That's one of the things to keep in mind is in the Republic of Japan, like they have glitter boys, but
oh,
they aren't. Um, I love that guy. But they aren't champions. They're soldiers, and everyone regards them well. And that's the same for the Dragonborgs. The Dragonborgs are absolutely um, the kind of soldiers that everyone loves. Rifts Japan has anime. It's canon in the book. They have anime. They have manga, and they act for the in-universe people. And there are absolutely anime characters that are Dragonborgs, that are cyborgs, that are Tech Ninja, and people love them.
yeah, and you don't become a Dragonborg unless you are creme de la creme, pretty top soldier, because it's a ton of resources. They're basically so for the hold on, I realize not everyone is familiar. So to be clear, in case it isn't clear, Dragonborgs are not dragons turned into cyborgs.
No,
That is a
they are
somewhat common conception when you say that. Essentially, you know how a cyborg, like a combat cyborg, take a good chunk of a person, the brain, the spine, probably part of the torso, and they build up a body around that with all these cybernetic implants. Well, a Dragonborg, basically, they add all these cybernetic implants, but instead of building a body, they build you into a control unit and then install that into a robotic dragon. So you are a human in command of a robotic dragon. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. There's 4 different types of Dragonborgs. One's a flyer, one's a tank, one's a commando, and one's effectively a ninja. And the ninja one or the commando one is on the cover of Risk Japan, World Book 8. It's what I have in my background, and it is amazing. They are literal cover for their for the squad of infantry that accompany them, and that's reflected in the stats. But that's was literally part of their description is no, they just spread their wings and they are cover for all of the infantry behind them. The Wingblade Snoops can climb on walls, can hang from the ceilings, and they're really good at it. And their long necks are so they can get into windows that they shouldn't be able to get into, and hack your stuff without you even realizing it. They're great. And then you've got the Flame Cloud, which is just the premier anti dragon fighter for flying dragons. And then you've got the Imperial, which is just a walking tank of very little equivalency.
I enjoyed how this came together personally. One that we all got a chance to take a kick at it, but also the way it feels like you're playing a dragon and a Borg, right? You pick your like with the dragon, you can pick your variant, you can pick your hatchling, and with this, you can pick your model, and you can pick the kind of way you want to play. But also, it's super powerful out of the gate. It's very unique. It's very different, So it's not just a cyborg or not just a dragon. Even with the Borgs in Europa, where we built on top of the existing cyborg, this thing is its own iconic framework. It doesn't. You don't start as a cyborg and then do this, or start as a dragon and then do that. Well, here's the real question, though: could a Dragonborg take down a dragon?
I mean, that depends on the roles, really, but yes.
I think some of the heavy artillery on something like the Imperial could give a dragon a run for its money, for sure. Toe to toe in a fist fight, I don't know. They're not as big as dragons. They're big, but they're not like those size 7 bigs, right? Well, maybe those ones are. I can't remember now. That's enough previewing. Don't want anybody screenshotting too much and trying to play one tonight. I don't think so, Patrick. Are there hacking rules in the Japan section?
There are. It's not in the Japan section, but yes. Not that we needed a lot, but there are enough. And they cover pretty much everything we would need.
And I think this is more a PK thing if your mic is working, the mystic martial arts powers and stuff.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, good. Sorry, I'm a bit of an issue. Oh, yeah. As far as mystic martial arts, I think you're going to be very happy with that. We are, I'm trying to think how to say this without giving anything away. The various powers, see, a lot of them are adapted into either edges or where edges, new power modifiers, or something similar like that. Access to these is going to be opened up by taking a mystic martial arts style, and take a mystic martial arts style. It opens up new combat, or in cases just weird esoteric abilities. If you have the edge, it opens up new options for chi. If you have enlightened powers, which is the thing, it opens up new powers. And there's even a little bit more to each of them. So the Zenjuriki powers were absolutely something that I tried to make sure that all of them could be emulated in spirit, if not necessarily in specific. And obviously some got combined. Like, I'm like, oh wow, this is I'm thinking of, for example, the Demon Queller's body hardening powers. They had an anti-gnaw one and an anti-poison one, and something that helped with gas. And I'm like, well, just one edge, obviously.
Yeah, I really liked what you ended up doing with the martial arts. That was a really cool. It was a really cool thing that I was not expecting how it came together. You're really going to be surprised because he did an amazing job just covering the breadth.
My apologies if my audio is distorting. I'm genuinely not sure why. Here
we have kind of more of a backgrounder question on each of us, which I thought was kind of fun. Where did you each start with Rifts originally? Do you have a particular memory or moment or character that you cherish? Anyone want to go first?
Well, I'll start with a moment, actually. It's not my character, it's John's. I was running a coalition game, and the group was in the Southwest, and John had a character on a big boss, not a big, was
Road Chopper?
The Road Chopper, the Road Chopper. And he went to fire a mini missile. It jammed, rolled a 1. And this is back in Rifts, Palladium. And I just said it got locked in there. So he let off that infamous John McClane Yippee-ki-yay, and just rammed it at the charging Apache on the dinosaur back, and managed to get off of it, managed to not destroy himself too bad. And I of course went big with the explosion, because why wouldn't you? And that was one of my favorite moments as a GM, and just watching John as a player was just like, that's Rifts to me. That right there, the guy just his stuff malfunctions. He just slides off of the motorcycle and just rams it at them. That was great.
Yeah, rams it at the Native Americans riding dinosaurs with high-tech weapons, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
it
Yeah.
doesn't get any more kitchen sink riffs than that moment, for sure. That certainly was fun. Once I figured out what to do, we certainly learned the rules for roll fall. I never knew what they were for in the hand. That's in the old days. So that was good. What about you, PK? Got a favorite moment?
Well, I was always the forever GM growing up, so we started on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, actually. And congrats to Palladium for getting that out the door. And I eventually tried porting everyone over into Rifts and playing around with that. And I think I did a pretty terrible job, because it seemed like fights were either the party got wiped and I had to reset, or the party would just wipe everyone. So I had a really hard time controlling all. So most of our memorable moments were just expected massive deaths to one side or the other.
One of my favorite. I got started with this back with Robotech. That was my cue into Rifts. Actually, it was the Terrain Hopper Power Armor was featured in a full page ad in the back of one of the Robotech books, and I wanted it. And therefore, I went and bought the Rifts book, and then that was a whole different thing. My very first character I made was a Cyber Knight. My favorite character I ever made, which John ran, again, we both played player and GM both for both of us, was a Techno Wizard who, through the vagaries of character creation, ended up starting with a dead donkey as part of his initial equipment, and had to carry it into town. Had to carry the dead donkey into town. It was a lot of fun. it was some wild, wacky stuff, but it was still kind of cool. But that particular character ended up almost a superhero and fighting the Ragnarok. So it's just one of those things where it's like Risk goes all over the place. You're super gritty or you're not, and you love it.
Yeah, geez, we had a lot of fun. I'd like PK. My entry drug was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I played at a Boy Scout camp, and we had a lot of fun. I didn't really know what I was doing, but of course I played like the flying brown wing ninja with the katana. So it was great. So that was my entry, and then I just remember having a lot of memories of getting together with my friends and playing all day. You know what I mean? We like you. We saw the ad for Rifts in one of the Robotech books, and we went from there. And boy, that was a long time ago, and I've been doing it ever since. I don't want to give away how old I am. I had to put a filter on up here to not look gray.
I've given up.
Yeah, we could always bring dead donkeys back as the starting gear for characters.
I mean, that could absolutely be an option. Dead donkeys could replace credits, just like they could become the new currency, where people are like, I want a laser rifle. Be like, okay, well, that's 1,500 dead donkeys. So.
And then someone asked further up. Oh, there we go. Are there switching gears for pre-gens for Ends of the Earth? I think there will be. We usually do. Archetypes.
Yep. If you were asking about the ones for mine, those aren't the official pre-gens. No, they're running a game.
These, right?
I'm running a game at the con set in the New Empire. So I mean, they are pre-gens from Ends of the Earth, but they're not going to be the dossier from Ends of the Earth, if that's what you're asking.
I'm sure the samurai will see some love in the official dossiers, though.
Yeah, it's really interesting in Ends of the Earth. Like a lot of the cool, like iconic stuff is Japan. Although there's stuff in China, there's stuff in Australia to be sure. But then you're like, okay, well, how do you make this rogues gallery of people from all over such a diverse area? So that's going to be a interesting way to try and figure it out.
I don't know. I think that the Australia options are just as awesome.
Oh yeah, maybe I'm just a fanboy growing up playing Robotech.
Oh, and it's one of those things too, that the Tech Ninja, a lot of the same things that you would build for a Tech Ninja, there's an entire analog to them in Australia called the Tech Raider. And we looked at them and go, these are the same thing. They're not the same thing, but they're the same thing. Just the same thing. So
Yeah,
you get a lot of the ways to build them. Like the Tech Genius, which is the weird science supercharger that PK was talking about, has an analog in China, in Neofront, in Japan, in Australia, and I mean, honestly, I could argue that there's versions of them in Chi-Town and the NGR. So, I mean, these are just universal things that we can do. We're trying to flavor them, obviously, to where they are, but you can do a lot. That's one of the beauties of a really good IF and a really good Mars package. You can do a lot with them.
Yeah, they cover a lot of ground for sure.
I want us to jump into some questions too. But real quick, when I was muted, what I was trying to add, which ties directly into what Patrick was saying, I think you're going to find Ends of the Earth. There's a lot of frameworks and packages that have multiple uses. Like the martial hero, for example, can be anything from a celestial court warrior to a ninja to a monk to you name it. There's 3 different kinds of Quellers. There's one framework that I just don't feel like revealing it, that your options are almost unlimited based on what William agrees you were. You don't know what I mean. So it's really cool, and a lot of these do absolutely over to everywhere, not just the Eastern Hemisphere.
All right, you guys just saw in real time that I got beat down by my own teammates on whether the IFs were transplantable or not. So that's how we will roll. We always help each other out. There was something. I think this is you, Patrick. Is there anything interesting happening or coming from Indonesia?
So yes, but also no. The Rifts lore is pretty clear. Indonesia got destroyed. And if you think about the topography of that area, you would understand why. But that's not the same as there's nothing there. Where people aren't, monsters move in. The Haroon love that area. They love it. It's all theirs. But there's plenty of pirates. Pirates are going to be a big part of this. And you're going to learn that where there are not bandits, there are pirates. And that's just kind of how it rolls. Are those pirates demons? Are those pirates people? Like humans, elves? Are they monsters of other sorts? Are they Haroon? You don't know until you get them. So fighting pirates is something that any character on the seas is going to deal with. And if you're not in one of the mainland areas, that's where you are. You're on the sea. Even the Japan is not a single island. It is an archipelago of hundreds. I forget the exact number, but it is an insane number. And you don't until you get to start looking at it, you don't realize that. And Indonesia is no better. But even going up into as far as like India, Sri Lanka, going down into Australia, down into New Zealand, the Great Barrier Reef, all the way up in Japan and China. There's a lot to it. There's a lot there.
Great. There's a couple questions coming through on like future stuff and stuff we're really not versed in. Like, is there stuff for miniatures or stickers or apparel? That's licensing level stuff that belongs to Pinnacle. We don't get too engaged in that, so we wouldn't know the answer. Not that we've heard of.
And even if that were underway, that would be a case of we wouldn't be about it until it were a thing, So.
And here's an easy one. So, want to share a roadmap on what's after Ends of the Earth? No. All right. Next question. Will these make it to VTT? Will Japan make it to VTT? It's likely that Japan and the rest of Ends of the Earth will go to the VTT, particularly Foundry. I'm sure Fantasy Grounds, the team over there, does a great job bringing everything like that. So there we go. We'll probably do it, but we can't say for sure until they're ready.
But y'all know Savage, Pinnacle loves VTT, so.
Oh yeah, and I only play on VTT, so there's a kind of like a selfish altruism that helps make it happen, so that I can play the games that I help create.
Right.
Is there a way to track third-party Savage Worlds releases like Phase World? I would say just go to BackerKit and follow the campaign. Brandon's got a link for it, and you'll get notified of when it's going to launch. But we don't have anything to do with it. Neither does Pinnacle. That's a separate IP and license with Palladium.
Mm-hmm. Yep, one that we are all just as excited for.
Yeah, that's definitely one we love.
Yeah, degenerates, we don't like your wallet either, and so we're going to do our best to.
And again, and I mean, throw Savage Phase World into that mix. Why not?
Start saving.
If we're going to hurt your wallet, let's kill it. Sorry.
Yeah, Phase World was a big fun that we used to pop back and forth all the time in our own personal games. But we, as the Savage Rust team, kept to stay firmly grounded on Earth. And there's a lot of Earth to cover.
For sure. I don't know anything about this, Patrick. Do you know anything? You're a lore nut. Katana rune sword hidden in the Chinatown bird.
I don't know that one. It seems like something you could easily have there. That might have been mentioned in one of the books, come to think of it, but I don't. It's been decades since I read Sonic Boom and the rest of them. So
feel free to talk about it a bit in the Discord to jog our memory, and then whenever we eventually do more stuff in the North America region, maybe that'll come up. Who knows?
Certainly, already I've got a cool adventure idea brewing for
right
Katana.
Now they could be referring to Black Vault, in which case Black Vault. I love that book because it was so non-serious. It wasn't funny. Here's all of these horrendous items. Most of them are duct tape. Here's TW duct tape. That was one of the big items in the book for me. So
I would
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, PK.
I was gonna say, I would guess I see a rune sword, and obviously I think probably one of the samurai rune swords, Japan, which yes, if you play a samurai, you get to start with rune weapons, plural. I would guess that, but that's kind of an assumption.
Someone asked about Beyond the Supernatural in Savage Worlds. I would say no, but it's an easy one to do in Savage Worlds. Just take out your core book or your horror companion, and away you go. Have a great time.
It's one of the easiest ones to do. You just need to run the stories yourself, and you need the core book, and maybe Horror Companion. You're going to have a lot of fun.
I think Savage Worlds obviously lends itself well to horror because they have so many settings that use it itself, like Deadlands and so on. As for this question about audio RPG, that's something you'll have to ask. I'm not sure. There's been a couple that have come out. I don't know how that works. That's kind of a Peg Inc. question. You'll maybe send to them. That's above our pay grade. We're not very smart.
Sorry, you got me. No, he's got me searching for that.
Right.
I mentioned. Sorry, please carry on.
So Earth means no splicers or Nightbane. No, sadly.
No. There's so much we as developers might want to do in our own personal games. We're never going to get to playing that anytime soon. So we want to. We're in, but we're not gonna. Not anytime
But that
soon.
doesn't answer this question. Are there any products we'd love to see come to fruition and had a hand in? Now, we wouldn't talk about anything we had a hand in that aren't in the cards yet because we'll talk about what's coming up. But anything you'd like, I really want to do that one.
I mean, we've talked about okay, my personal. Here's the thing, I would love to do this. Didn't sell enough. I would love permission for them to just say, you can just do a set of another set of 18 dossiers as its own box set, fully composed. We had talks about doing this 9 versus 9 set off, where we have the flip side, the Bizarro version of one, a dragon versus a dragonborg, a mystic ninja versus a cyber ninja, etc. I think that would be really fun. I would love to make it. There's no way it would stuff for them to just give us approval on that as a separate product.
I think for me, Brandon's
Well,
got
let me
already
say-
have my dream one.
Oh,
But-
Phase World? I thought you were going to say the Coalition.
No. That's my dream one was Phase World. Coalition is just one of my passions. But yeah, no, my dream one Brandon already got. Beyond that, probably Nightbane, honestly. I don't know that I would do it as much justice as some other people could, but I would love to work on the Nightbane world, but who knows? Hardly ever, and not likely.
Yeah, I was thinking Nightbane too myself. I think it again lends itself well to the Savage World system, and, with the morphosis and the horror aspects to it, and all those kind of things. That'd be an interesting one to work on. For Rifts, somebody mentioned it off the top, and I'm all in for more box set adventures. I love exploring the world by playing in the world, and I really, really was happy with the way Terror on the Dark Frontier came out. Like, that's the one. I love all the books. I have them. That's the one I like the most. Just the way it feels, the way it looks, the way it sits in the box, but also the way you get to play it as much or as little as you want, according to the number of Savage Tales that are in there and the plot point. So I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff because it can build out the world without, kind of falling into the trap of a splat book for everything, and I just think that's cool because Terror had character options, it had new Mars frameworks, but it also had adventures and it had world information and it had pawns. And so it was just a nice way to build out a piece of the world without just a book. Kind of thing. So I like that.
Yeah, I really liked the way Terror ended up. I was not involved in that in any way, shape, or form, and except as a playtester. And I loved it, both as a player and getting to read through all the adventure sites and the little adventure cameos and seeds and everything else. It was just an amazing, amazing book.
I liked it too. I don't know what else to say. It would just be duplicating everyone. I'm like, yeah, it's really baller. It's great.
Well, guys, I'm going to probably wind it down here now because I got to run a game in 5 minutes. And for the con this weekend. So if you haven't been to our con, savagerifts.com/con. We're playing a lot this weekend, not just Savage Worlds. There might be a few openings into tomorrow's games and the ones for the rest of tonight. So feel free to pop in and take a look and see if something tickles your fancy. I don't know. Probably not spectators in the games. That would be up to the individual GMs, but I'm just not sure we're equipped to.
Yeah, ask GM, because I mean, that's like I'd allow it in mine from someone, but you'd have to stay muted so it's not chaos.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Sorry, Aaron, you couldn't be with us. Just one more time, does everyone want to see that? Yep, that's there. It's real. It's coming. And you guys can have it. What did they announce? They put out a little thing that was Ends of the Earth in the fall. Is that when they said in the email Peg sent out?
I thought this. I think they told us was probably like the end of summer, beginning of fall was going to
be late 2026 for now. Always subject to change, but that was something you check out the Peg's newsletter at peginc.com. The actual information, not our speculation. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, everybody here who wants to know. Well, there might be more Dragon Hatchlings at the end of the Earth. You never know until you get to the end of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, all of you, for your time. We're having a great con. We're having a great time. We're having a great time writing these books for you. And we're glad that you're enjoying them and people are actually playing them. And of course, receiving the physical copies over the next couple of weeks is a special joy. So enjoy that. Unbox it. Send us pictures. And have a great night, everyone. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy your con. Enjoy the games.
Bye.